If you're in Val Sesia, then the Gronda should be high on your list. With a steep gradient and relatively low risk, it's a great training ground for steep creeking. Walk up the road on River Right until you see the bridge crossing the river and put in just below the rapid under the bridge. The first rapid can be a bit intimidating as you're sat at the top looking at a narrow entrance and a horizon line that just disappears down the valley, but it's also one of the most satisfying moves when you get it right. The entrance is quite tight, but I find that starting relatively left and going with a right followed immediately by a left stroke helps you get over the pile and onto the right hand side of the main slide. If you don't get over the pillow against the rock, then you're likely to get pushed left, which just results in a bit of a bashed arm. Now you're going straight into the second slide. You want to be aiming ever so slightly left and cross over a hole and trying to stay on the top of the slide and finding where the most water's going down. There's no wrong option and you can go further right, but the further left you get, the smoother the ride is. After the slide, make sure you go to the right side of the big boulder in the middle of the river. Here you might want to scout the next rapid, which is very rocky in low water. For this one, you want to make sure you're going to the right of the big boulder and then trying to work your way left against the rocks. It's more worthwhile in high water, and to be honest, in low water it's a perfectly reasonable portage. But if you're going to run it, try and drive yourself up onto this slab in the middle, and then the rest is straightforward. You have another small pool, and then after the rapid you want to go through this small gap to the right to line up the next rapid. The next one is quite straightforward. You just want to work yourself to the left side and then try and go down the middle of the slide. There's a fun boof, but nothing in this rapid is particularly challenging. After that, you've got some weird chossy stuff you just have to find a way down. This is leading into the next major rapid, another one worth scouting. There's a rocky lead in, and then there's a slab that you want to try and fly off the left hand side of, avoiding a rock on the landing on the right hand side. This is another one that's perfectly reasonable to portage, and a lot of people do. If you're going to portage, try and catch an eddy on the left, and then you can rope your boat down on the left hand side below the drop. If you're running it, then you've got a small entry move and then drive left up onto the slab, which slants towards the right. It is fun if you're confident that you're going to miss the rock in the landing. Directly after that is a small boof. You want to drive your nose onto the rock to kick your bow up. Immediately after that is another slide. You want to go down the river left hand side, entering the slide on the right, and then try and turn your bow to the right. There's probably a line down the middle, but the left side's more fun. There used to be a siphon at the bottom of this one, but it seems to be filled up by rocks now. You've got another little narrow bit with nothing particularly to worry about before a short pool above the next rapid. This one's also quite chossy, but very fun if you get it right. Try and aim for the slab in the middle and then pick your bow up, but be careful, in low water you might find you get stuck just for a moment and have to work your way out. There is a line down the far right hand side if you want. The next rapid is one of my favourites on the river. With a small entrance rapid, you then want to work to the right hand side of the rapid and try and ride the curler up onto the wall and boof with a left boof stroke. If you get it right, you get a really nice wall ride, but the most important thing is getting that left hand boof stroke to get over the hole. If you get onto the curler early, then you won't get the wall ride, but you will get a nice clean line. The important thing is getting your nose onto the curler to help lift your bow up for the boof. After that is another one of my favourites. Another small entrance rapid sets you up to go on the right hand side of the river, and you want to try and get a left stroke in at the bottom of the slide. It's a bit of an unpredictable one, but if you hit the kicker, then you get a really satisfying boof. As you're going down the slide, be ready to turn to the right using your body, and expect that your bow might bounce off the wall. I've tried a few different ways to enter the rapid, but I find that the most important thing is being ready for that turn to the right at the bottom to then drop through the next bit of the rapid. There's an obvious flake on the far right, and I find that tucking my nose just below that is the most reliable way to get the nice land. Straight after that, there's another little bit of rock bashing to get to the next major rapid. It's a little double drop with a small boof, followed by a slightly bigger boof. It's hard to get a clean line on this one, and it's shallow in the landing, so avoid the temptation to try some freestyle. This takes you to the final drop directly under the Roman archway. This is a really satisfying drop that looks good from all angles. There are two tiny little marker holes at the top, and you want to weave between them and then cross over a diagonal heading towards the left-hand side. Try and get your nose just above a curler, which will help pick the bow up and help you launch into a big boof. You want to pull a right boof and you'll get a really nice landing. There's a little hole on the exit of this rapid, so try and finish on the left-hand side if you can. You can rerun this rapid as many times as you want, and because the whole section is roadside, you can walk up and start from wherever you want. If you're not done yet, then find your way through the boulder garden to the top of the Sorba slides for some more steep creaking. There's a video here if you want to have a look at that.